Hello again, I'm Dave Apsley. I'm a forester and a natural resources specialist with Ohio State University Extension. Today I'm joining you from our woodland property here in Jackson County, Ohio, and it's a hot afternoon in August and I'm getting ready to dodge a thunderstorm, so hopefully we'll get this video in. But I'm actually standing in a wetland area with buttonbush and swamp rose all around me and a few specimens of this species. This is called American elderberry. Other folks call it common elderberry. Common elderberry can be found throughout much of Ohio. It's found in almost every county in the state, typically in places like this, either swampy, wet areas or roadside ditches where there's plenty of moisture available. So how do I identify common elderberry or American elderberry? First of all, it has opposite leaf arrangement. If you remember back to the earlier videos, we talked about mad buck, maple, ash, dogwood, and buckeye. Those are all tree species that have opposite leaf arrangement. So there's a whole family called Caprifoliaceae that has a lot of shrub species in it that are opposite as well. And elderberry falls into that family, Caprifoliaceae. In fact, the viburnums also fall in this category and they're all opposite as well. So how do we identify American elderberry? First of all, it has compound leaves, and I mentioned they're oppositely arranged. These compound leaves are pinnately compound. They can have anywhere from 5 to about 11 leaflets. I've looked all over this shrub and most of them are either 5s or 7s with a few 9s. So here in Jackson County, that's what I'm seeing, mostly 5s and 7s. Again, they're compound leaves. These leaflets are about 2 or so inches in length and they have a serrate or toothed edge or margin to them. The twigs are pretty stout. If you look at the twig closely, especially the little bit older twigs, you're going to find bumpy warts all over that twig. And if we were to cut into that twig, you're going to see a white spongy center or pith. In the early part of the summer, you're going to have these large clusters of flowers. The clusters of flowers can be about 8 inches across, and the flowers themselves are tiny, but again, large clusters up to about 8 inches in diameter. Those white flowers will eventually degrade, the petals will fall off, and you'll start to form little berries. They'll start out green, and now they're starting to mature. These are still purplish. When they're mature, they'll be almost black. And in fact, there's lots of them missing, so I'm assuming a lot of the black ones have already fallen or been eaten. The little berries are only about 1/8 to 1/4 inch in diameter. These aren't much bigger than 1/8 in diameter. They're very flavorful. Again, lots of songbirds like them, and they're small enough for almost any bird to consume. They're also great to flavor things like jams and jellies, and even some folks make elderberry wine. So they're a great species to add some diversity to your moist areas. They can add something that you can actually use to make a food product with. And they're actually a beautiful shrub when they're in flower. Even now when they're in fruit, you're going to see these clusters at the tip. The berries right now are kind of purple in color, but also the stems that support the berries are also red. So they've got a nice, beautiful color. They can get to be about 12 feet or so in height. They're usually multiple stemmed like this, and this is a fairly large one. So again, thank you so much for your time, and please take at least part of your day to enjoy it in the woods.